You know what I like to say? Everything's political. How are puppy stores political? Well, there's legislation pending in the state of New York to shut down the retail sale of puppies here in New York. So today we're going to speak with CitiPups, find out why the state wants to shut down puppy stores and what puppy stores can do to advocate against this type of legislation.
Look at the little belly. Yeah. Look at his little belly.
So how long have you been in business here?
CitiPups has been in business for about 35 years, and I've been here for the past 11 years. Like, I can't even believe it. Like, they look like cartoon characters.
I think I want this one to be a brother to my Bouchon. There's that phrase, adopt, don't shop, right? That people say all the time. But if you want a very specific dog, you can't adopt something like this adorable, tiny little thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
So people either could go straight to a breeder or they come to a puppy store. So what's the relationship like between the puppy store here, CitiPups, and these breeders?
So we go around the country and we visit the breeders. We got to make sure that the parents are healthy, they're being well taken care of, that the pups aren't being overbred and they're being housed in humane conditions. We're not puppy sellers, we're a logistics business. The value in what we do is that we make the breeder's life easier and we make a person's life easier. Instead of, people say, okay, I go straight to a breeder. But then what do? You Google a breeder and thousands of different pages show up. How does that person now know which one's a good breeder and which one's a bad breeder?
Right.
How does somebody know if it's a scam or not? Especially when you consider 35% of all online scams last year were dog buying scams. Mm-hmm. So the value in what we do is more so the service, the logistics, the vetting of the breeders. We handle all of that so that all you have to think about is being a good dog mom or dad.
I can't get over this
Neither
one.
can I.
No, I think I'm gonna leave here with this dog today.
Well, when I met him in person, he seemed very like reasonable and he heard me out and I felt like we made a really good argument.
Okay.
But then a couple weeks later, then he says things like, oh yeah, the breeders shoot their dogs in the head and all this stuff, and I'm like, that's not even true. Like, you can't say that about everybody. So this is the manager of CitiPups. His name is Jeremy. He has over 130,000 TikTok followers and he's the best boss in the world. Thanks to him, we have one of the best pet stores in New York State because he identifies with the animals because he's an animal himself. It's getting so hard for people to adopt a dog now because there's these really strict rescue applications where it's the people that have the biggest home or they have a backyard or they work from home. Those are the people that are getting accepted for adoption applications. But then I always think to myself, well, who does that look like? Are we inadvertently creating a system where only the most well-off and most privileged and most rich people can adopt a dog? You're telling me that a working class mother that has 2 kids can't get their kids a Shih Tzu, but then they'll come here and we'll walk them through. We don't discriminate, we educate, where it's if you've never had a dog before, we'll teach you how to take care of a dog. When introducing a law like this, we don't think about what are all the dominoes that are going to fall, what's the unintended consequences of bills like this. And I think that New York shouldn't be a state where the most privileged people are the only ones that get accepted for adoption applications. The breeders that keep dogs in those awful conditions, they're motivated by supplying the demand for dogs. And the demand for dogs is going to exist regardless if this store is here or not.
He weighs 1 pound, 9 ounces. This is my angel.
We focus so much of our attention on this adopt, don't shop that we forgot what really matters at the end of the day is the welfare of the dogs. So we have to stop dividing ourselves along those lines because it doesn't do anything to help people or help dogs. We need to focus on responsible establishments versus irresponsible establishments, not adopt or shop.